Welcome back, everyone. So we are in the month of November now, and I've been monetized for a handful of months. And so what I want to do is, for the first time in a while, look at how my revenue has increased over time on this specific channel. I only have one YouTube channel, no other revenue on YouTube except this one channel. So we're going to be looking at my CPM, my RPM, and then what I'd also like to do is look at the percentage increase per month and the difference between each month that follows. So we're going to be looking at it. We're going to be going into my YouTube analytics area, so you get to see all of the nooks and crannies when it does come to the ad revenue. And if you do want to see more videos like this, where I show you my YouTube dashboard and any analytics and data, be sure that you do click that like button, smash it for me. I do really appreciate it. If you are brand new here, you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button, hit the big red button, the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well. That way you're notified every single time I do make a new one. I do videos now every single solitary day, no exceptions, no excuses. So let's jump right in now to my YouTube dashboard, where you'll get to see all the analytics, all the back-end numbers. So here we are now in my YouTube analytics area of my YouTube studio. Right off the bat, you will get to see a subscriber count, a view count for the last 48 hours. You'll see the views over the time period that I have it set to. So I have it set to the 28-day period. That is October 15th to November 11th. There is a 24-hour delay when it does come to any analytics that you want to see, not just revenue, but all the analytics. There is a 24-hour delay in the YouTube dashboard. So it's not actually November 11th. That happened already, but it is in fact November 12th. That's when I'm filming this. So you're not going to be able to see November 12th, but it still gives you a great idea of how much I'm making and where we are right now with this channel. So last 28 days, October 15th, November 11th, views are up a little bit, slightly. We're at 32,500 views for last 28 days. We have 1,000 watch hours, 150 subscribers added in the last 28 days. And you'll also see right off the bat there, that figure, 172.71. That's for the last 28 days. But how does that fare with past months? How does that actually compare to? We'll be looking at that in just one moment. But just so you understand what my revenue has been, a little choppy. It's not totally consistent. It depends on the kind of content that I upload. As you do know, I do a diverse mix of content on this channel, so many different topics, and so some bring naturally higher CPMs or RPMs, and some get more views than others. That's just totally natural. Some actually get less views but might bring in more revenue. So many variables and so many factors when it does come to the YouTube analytics. But what you're going to see, because we're talking about revenues, I'm going to swing over here to the revenue area. And when you go there, you'll still get the same figure of 28 days. But you'll get to see how my CPM and RPM has changed. So my CPM is actually up 38% according to YouTube for the last 28 days, which is huge. So the CPM has been a little consistent. It's been much more consistent than my revenue. If you look at my revenue here, you'll see some days where I make under $3, right? You'll see some days where I make 3 and change, then I'll get up to some days 9 to 10 to 11. Some days it will be 13 about, some days 10, some days 11. And you have a lot of these ups and downs here. So it does look a lot more like a roller coaster. But then when you look at my CPM, it's not as choppy. It's a lot more consistent. It's really, if you look at the average, it's really within, I'd say, this window of about, say, 18 to like $22, just on average. That's really how much the CPM is. And RPM 540 for the last 28 days. That does change too. Definitely goes up and down. But I'd probably call it an average about $5, $6, $7 as it does state. And then when you go to ad revenue here, again, that's that 24-hour window here. The data is still processing, so it doesn't have that data just yet. But just recently on November 10th, it was $4.59 for the day, $8.07 for the day before. Day before that was $10.98. Definitely varies. We're going to be looking at the monthly in just one moment. But, what my mindset is, and because a lot of people probably wouldn't put in all this effort to make just that amount for 28 days. It's not 30 days, but rather 28 days. So factor in a couple more days of revenue to figure out the total number for 30 days or an entire month. So what my kind of mindset is when it does come to this kind of revenue and what my performance is on this channel, instead of thinking of it as you only make a few dollars a day, or it could be as high as $10 a day, $11, and you only make that amount per month, I like to think of it rather as there's one day out of the month that you get that amount. on top of any other money that I make for that day. So that just kind of keeps me going, keeps me motivated to create videos, and knowing that it actually is increasing month over month. When you look at it, it has actually increased, and I do think it will continue to go at this pace for quite some time, unless something really exploded and really kindled a massive amount of views and subscribers. But rather, I do think this pace is good for now and will continue to bode well. So the crux, the meat of this video is going to be the monthly revenue. So let's now go to that. And it's right here for you, all spelled out. You go to monthly estimated revenue. This is the exact number though, it's not any different. And what you saw in my early days of monetization was right off the bat, I had quite a jump, quite a spark in revenue just from the early days. It was quite high and then it drifted lower, but it still has increased every month. So in July, we looked at 120.07, and then we saw 136.49 for the month of August. September, 148.17. October, now 161.20. That was my most recent payment. So you do see an increase here. You do see, in fact, an increase in revenue month over month. It has consistently increased at this pace, quite consistently. And November, for the month so far, we've done 65.61. I think we are on pace. We, in fact, are on track to outperform October, and that will be yet another increase. How do you know that? Well, last 28 days, you see the figure there, 172.71. That was as high as 176 the other day, 178 even the other day before that. So I think we are on pace to beat that. But what I really like to do is, again, because this might not seem like a lot, but over time it truly does add up, and it truly does have a compounding effect. So what I like to do is I like to look at the percentage increase month over month. That's what I like to do, just to get an idea. Kind of, you can perhaps predict it. You can predict how much and forecast the coming months and coming next year or so would look like, depending on if there's an anomaly month or a very bad month. But again, it has increased consistently, even though I'm essentially banging out the same amount of content. So let's see what we have here. So we go to August first, and we'll go to our percentage increase calculator. We'll do the starting out value of August, and we'll do 136.49 there. And then what we'll do is we'll put in the month of September, 148.17. Put that as the final value. And let's see, there's an estimate of how much percentage increase that is. Well, that, as a matter of fact, is about an 8.5, about 8.55 amount percent increase month over month between the months of, go back there, August and September. So that was the increase between August and September. Let's do now September to October. Just from eyeballing it, I believe that should be slightly higher than 8.5% or so. Could be wrong, but let's see. First, or at least the last period of time that we did, was 8.5% about. This one's going to be a little bit more, so my math did serve me correctly. Totally estimated, totally eyeballed that. I had no idea what it was going to be, but in fact it was 8.79395% increase there, so just slightly higher of an increase between the previous month. And then if we were just to say, just for this video's sake, let's just use that last 28-day figure of 172.71. What would that in fact look like if you did that increase? I believe it might be slightly less. Let's see if my math does serve me correctly there. So 172.71, we'll enter that in as the final value. Again, 172.71. Let's see that increase of the percentage there. That would be, right, so about 1.5% less. So still an increase, but not as high as the previous months. But again, the month is not over. You never know what could happen in any given month. You never know what could happen or occur with a video. I did have some high earning videos these last couple months that you're not going to be probably seeing in this month, just based on what my forecast could be. I did have, like, for example, my Apple stock videos. Some of them particularly did very well with thousands of views. So just on my premonition, I don't think that you're going to be seeing as high of an increase, but nonetheless, still an increase. And that's all you really need in order to scale up and know that, in fact, your revenue is getting larger and larger every month. Then you could start thinking about banking out more content, but this pace is good enough for me right now. as I am running other businesses in the back end that you did not see. This is alone, it's a full-time income, or rather a full-time amount of work that anyone else would be putting in, the effort and work that is required. But it's obviously just banging out a part-time income for some people, not even. So that's what you're seeing here. For many people, it'll probably just be considered a side hustle. So nonetheless, still an increase every month, and we're going to be seeing what happens in the coming months. And as 2021 happens, let's see, we are at 3,334 subscribers. That is exactly 1/3 of the way to 10,000. So 10,000 subscribers would definitely be a lot helpful for this channel and could definitely serve me well. That's where we are right now with ad revenue and my monetization. Now, if you are earning on YouTube, let me know down below what your CPM and your RPM is and what your revenue looks like. And I could definitely take a look at your channel and see. Maybe I can perhaps give you some advice and point you to certain areas where you might actually have to step up your game. I know many people have commented on my other monetization videos, people that have not yet been monetized, and they're asking me for advice on how they can get monetized faster, how they can start earning income, even if it's just pennies or dollars a day, how they can actually start really scaling up their YouTube business. So if you do earn revenue right now, let me know down below in the comments what your analytics look like, or perhaps you do have a revenue video of your own that you can point me to. Or if you're not yet monetized and you have some questions, I can definitely do the best I can. I could, to the best of my ability, answer those questions. So let me know down below in the comments. Let's keep that conversation going. I do hope you enjoyed this video, got value out of it. If you did, smash the like button for me, give it a big thumbs up. And as always, if you're not subscribed yet, click that big red button, the subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell as well. That way you're notified every time I do make a new one. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.